A $2 bag of hardwood charcoal can erase human scent. It works faster than a $400 scent killer spray. Old Appalachian deer hunters used this same trick a century ago, and the modern hunting industry buried it under expensive gear. They sell you sprays, ozone machines, and carbon-lined suits. They sell you washes, sealants, and laundry powders every year. Almost none of that gear works as well as raw charcoal does. This is the story of the cheapest scent killer ever forgotten, the story of how old hunters stayed invisible to whitetail noses, and the story of why nobody in the gear industry wants you to know. Welcome to Lost Hunter, where buried fieldcraft comes back to life. If these forgotten hunting methods matter to you, hit subscribe now. This is where we dig up what the modern outdoor industry erased. Let me take you back to 1922 in the Blue Ridge. Deep in the Appalachian Mountains, deer hunters had a problem. Whitetail noses could pick up a man from over a quarter-mile away. There were no scent sprays, no ozone boxes, no carbon suits. Just wool clothing, leather boots, and the smell of a working man. So the old-timers turned to something they already had at camp. A burlap sack full of crushed hardwood charcoal from the fire pit. They sealed their hunting clothes inside that sack for 2 days. The charcoal pulled the human odor straight out of the wool. When they pulled the clothes out, they smelled like cold ash. Cold ash is a scent the whitetail brain treats as background noise. Hunters in West Virginia were filling deer tags 2 days in a row. The same trick showed up in the Ozarks and the Smoky Mountains. German Jaegers used birch charcoal in the Black Forest woods, too. Scandinavian moose hunters packed clothes in birch ash for a week. French-Canadian trappers rubbed charcoal dust on their leg traps. Daniel Boone-era woodsmen wrote about charred wood and clean clothes. Lewis and Clark journals mention Indians using ash on hide and gear. Cherokee deer hunters rolled their leather shirts in cold fire ash. Mountain men in the Rockies stored beaver hats inside charcoal kegs. Plains hunters rubbed wood ash on their moccasins before a stalk. Every region with serious hunters knew the same buried truth. Charcoal is one of the strongest natural odor absorbers on Earth, and it costs almost nothing when you make it from a campfire. This hunting video is only the surface of what they buried away. I collected everything modern outdoor culture tried to erase, all packed inside the complete Forbidden Hunter's vault today. Ghost scent methods that make whitetail deer miss your trail. Silent stalking mechanics old hunters used without one footstep. Tracking signs most modern hunters walk past without noticing. Hidden camp tricks that keep your presence off the deer woods. Cold weather fixes that make expensive winter gear look foolish. Forgotten whitetail funnels that still work every single season. 8 powerful hunting modules in one place. No fluff, no filler. The link is in the description right below this hunting video. But stay here with me. The hunting video is just getting started. Now let me show you why charcoal works so well on human scent. A single gram of activated hardwood charcoal has surface area. That surface area can reach over 1,000 square meters wide. That is bigger than 2 regulation basketball courts side by side. All packed inside a piece, smaller than a sugar cube on your hand. That massive surface is what traps the smell molecules in place. Baking soda only has 1 square meter of surface area per gram. Charcoal beats baking soda by more than 1,000 times in tests. Studies from the University of Georgia confirmed the absorption rate. A 1998 paper measured human odor against charcoal. The charcoal pulled out over 80% of volatile compounds. That includes the sulfur compounds whitetail noses lock onto fast. Whitetail deer have nearly 300 million scent receptors. A bloodhound has only about 220 million by count. A human nose has only 5 million scent receptors total in the head. That means a buck smells the woods 60 times sharper than a man. He picks up sweat, breath, and skin oil from over a quarter-mile. But cold ash and charred wood register as a normal forest baseline. Deer walk past burned timber every day after lightning strikes. Their brain files that smell under safe, ignore, keep moving on. That is the whole secret old hunters built their advantage around. They were not hiding their scent. They were rewriting their scent. Modern sprays only mask odor for about 30 minutes in the field. The Quality Deer Management Association tested several brands cold. Most lost effectiveness within 45 minutes of body heat. Charcoal-stored clothing kept its low scent profile for over a week. That is 14 times longer than the most expensive spray brand, and it cost less than a single can of name-brand scent killer. If you made it this far, You already know more about scent control. Subscribe and share this with someone who values real fieldcraft. And remember, the full vault link is right in the description. Now stay with me. The next part is what should make you angry. So why does almost nobody talk about this trick anymore today? Why did this knowledge disappear from every modern hunting guide? Here is where things stop making any kind of clean sense at all. The hunting gear industry sells over $1 billion a year. Scent control alone is a $400 million category. That money comes from sprays, suits, ozone boxes, and laundry kits. None of those products can be made from a piece of burned wood. You cannot patent crushed charcoal pulled from a campfire pit. You cannot trademark something that costs $2 a pound. You cannot build a brand around a method that lasts a full week. The whole gear model depends on confusion, refills, and upgrades. A spray that works for 30 minutes guarantees you buy more. A suit that wears out in 2 seasons keeps the cycle turning. A washing powder you finish before the rut keeps you coming back. Charcoal threatens every part of that expensive scent control model. So it had to be mocked, then ignored, then quietly buried away. The hunting magazines stopped printing it after 1970. The pro staff videos never mention it on cable hunting shows. The big box stores will never put a charcoal sack on a gear shelf, because there is no money in selling you something you already own. This is not a conspiracy of evil men sitting in a dark back room. It is something worse. It is a market that simply forgot the truth. A market that rewards complication and punishes old simple methods. And every fall, a new generation of hunters pays the price for it. They spend hundreds on gear that a campfire could have replaced. They believe that the more money they spend, the better the result. But an old woodsman with a charcoal sack walks past undetected, and the hunter with the $400 scent suit gets busted. Look at any hunting forum in November. The complaints never stop. I sprayed everything, and the buck still winded me at 60 yards. I washed every layer and she still blew out of the bottom field. That frustration is exactly what the industry was built to sell. They sell the next version, the new formula, the upgraded filter. And the deer keep winding people who never heard of charcoal bags. Here is exactly what to do before your next deer season opens up. Take a clean burlap sack or a heavy paper grocery bag from home. Pour in 2 pounds of plain hardwood charcoal from any garden store. Use lump charcoal, not the briquettes packed with binders and wax. Crush the charcoal into chunks about the size of a walnut shell. Place your washed hunting clothes inside the sack with the charcoal. Roll the top closed and store the sack in a cool, dry shed corner. Leave the clothes inside that sack for a full 48 hours. The charcoal will pull the human odor straight out of the fibers. Take the clothes out the morning of your hunt and dress outside. Never dress inside your truck, your kitchen, or your hunting cabin. Walk to your stand from upwind of the bedding area you scouted. The cold ash scent will read as background noise to a moving buck. You can reuse the same charcoal sack for the entire hunting season. Refresh it once by spreading the chunks under direct sun for a day. The sun resets the charcoal and burns off the trapped scent oils. Compare that to a $40 can of spray that lasts one morning, or a $300 carbon suit that loses its edge by week 6. A bow hunter in Pennsylvania filled his tag 4 years in a row. He used the same 2-pound charcoal sack from a hardware store shelf. He never bought a single bottle of name-brand scent killer spray, and his deer photos sit on the wall above his old wood-burning stove. A rifle hunter in Wisconsin did the same thing for 3 full seasons, filled 2 doe tags and a mature 10-point buck on public land. His total scent control cost for 3 years was under $6. The commercial alternative would have run him over $900. That is the kind of math the modern hunting industry never shows you. I have to be honest with you about one important limit here today. This method does not erase your breath or the heat off your face. You still need to play the wind and stay quiet on the approach in. Charcoal is a tool, not a magic cloak that makes you invisible, but it gives you back the edge old hunters built their lives around. The edge that the gear industry quietly took away decade by decade. This knowledge did not die with the old men of the Blue Ridge. It waited, buried under sprays and suits and shiny gear catalogs. It waited for someone to bring it back into the open hunting world. If this video made a difference in how you see scent control today, subscribe and share it with the next hunter you know in your life. Every share preserves what the gear industry tried to bury for good. The full Forbidden Hunters Vault link is right in the description. Inside that vault are 7 more buried methods just like this one. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside is even heavier. A $2 bag of charcoal beat a $400 spray brand. That alone should tell you what the modern hunting world forgot. The woods do not reward expensive gear. They reward old, quiet knowing. And the men who remember that walk out with the deer every fall.